Hello creeps, Andy here. Today I have a book haul. I've got some questionable books here. I also have a few packages from my PO box, so we'll open those together as well. I'm pretty sure those are books too. I don't know what these are. In fact, I've told you guys that I've been looking into a lot of like experimental literature and just kind of stranger stuff. So I can't really tell you what any of these are. So we're just going to be kind of reading the back and, I don't know, hearing what they are together, because I don't really even remember what these are. And I've gotten them over the past however long. My husband actually bought me a few of these, and then I bought like one or two for myself. So anyways, this is called Closer by Dennis Cooper. And the back of this one just says, physically beautiful and strangely passive, George Miles becomes the object of his friend's passion, and one after another they ransack him for love or anything else that they can trust in the mindlessness of middle America. What they find assaults the senses as it engages the mind in a novel that explores the limits of experience and the horror in the world around us. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but the reason I got this one, I can't remember if it was the description or other people saying it, but it just kind of reminded me of something Bret Easton Ellis would write. I think it was very nihilistic and just kind of an interesting relationship between people. I can't remember where I read this or why I have that opinion, but I believe that's this novel and why I got this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, a lot of these I just add to my Amazon cart, and then when my husband's like, oh, you're having a bad week, let's buy a book or two, I just kind of purchase whatever looks interesting at the time. So I don't remember the intention behind why I added these to my cart, you know? This one is Ian McEwan's The Cement Garden. This one I didn't even read at all. I just added it to my list when I saw it on a list of something else, which I don't even remember what that list was. Okay, so yeah, this is the first time I'm even reading this one. But it says, first father died, then mother. Now the four children are left alone in the house that looks like a castle, stranded among grim high-rises. Free of supervision, free of restraint, they can do anything, be anything, as long as they keep the house's secret. In the tour de force of psychological unease, Ian McEwan excavates the ruins of childhood and uncovers things that most adults have spent a lifetime forgetting or denying. Out of blasphemous wishes and hair-raising games, he constructs a novel that is all the more chilling for its offhand approach to the unspeakable. I have no idea what this is about. I don't know. Like I said, this is just kind of a strange book haul, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's some normal stuff in here too. This one is not, and like, if you're offended by stuff, maybe click off now. But this one is Blender Babies by John Athan, and the back just said they called it The Craze. No one saw it coming. It started with isolated reports of people kidnapping babies and blending them to drink their essence. A highly potent and sorry, my pizza's here. Someone just rang the doorbell. Highly addictive chemical compound found in infants. The phenomenon spread through social media, infecting other addicts. Kidnapping and murder skyrocketed, leading to the governments around the world issue a state of an emergency to strict shelter-at-home order. But it was too late. Society had collapsed into itself. Now Brian Turner finds himself trapped in a police station with his family, his wife Leslie, 5-year-old son Cameron, and his newborn daughter Harper, and a group of shell-shock survivors. With their supplies running low and a horde of baby fiends waiting to strike outside, he must find a way to protect his family and search for a new home away from the carnage and madness. This just sounds so fun. And I don't know what that says about me, but it just sounds fun. And it just says, obviously, a warning here. This book contains graphic content. Reader discretion is advised. But I don't know, but this just sounds like, obviously it's not funny to drink babies, but it's also a funny concept. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but people can just relax, okay? If you're highly offended by everything, just relax. It's not that serious, you know? And I don't know, maybe this book is more than just eating babies. We will see. We will find out together. And while I'm here to piss everybody off, I got this book. I'm not going to read this out loud, but it's by Urs Ullmann, and it's not what the title suggests. So it says that it's a character who may or may not be trapped in a room of 4 baskets full of infants focusing obsessively on a single word, babies. And then it says that it's a text by a Swiss experimental writer, and it won these prestigious awards in 1991, but it also caused the biggest literary scandal in post-1945 German-speaking world. It's translated now for the first time in this bilingual edition, and it will change your idea of what literature can be and do. So my thought behind these was I was going to make a video of just like offensively titled books and kind of read them and pick them apart a little bit more. However, I don't know if that'll work because this one is supposed to be an extreme horror novel and this one is an experimental literature book. So I don't know if it would be better if I read this one with other extreme horror and this one with more experimental stuff. I don't know. But I have other books that fit into that category as well that I think would be actually a really interesting video to kind of just analyze books that are either meant to upset you or you know, are more of just like a fun ride. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I end up breaking that apart, but I do have quite a few that would fit into that category that I think would be interesting. Now, way left field here. This is Addison Moore's Red Velvet Vengeance, and this is number, what am I on, 5 or 6 in the series? I don't know. But anyways, I had to get this one because this one takes place during Valentine's Day. It's the Murder in the Mix series that I've been talking about for the past few months. I'm not going to read the back because I don't want to know what happens, but she's a baker in a small town. There's a murder and she tries to solve it. I got that one to read on Valentine's Day because it's a Valentine's Day book. The next one I got was The Necrophiliac, and this is by Gabrielle Whitcop. Is Pizza here? Okay, I'm just gonna finish talking about necrophilia and then I'll be out in a second. Okay, it says, for more than 3 decades, Lucien, one of the most notorious characters in the history of the novel, has haunted the imaginations of readers around the world. Remarkably, the astounding protagonist of Gabrielle Whittop's lyrical 1972 novella, The Necrophiliac, has never appeared in English until now. The new translation introduces readers to the masterpiece of French literature, striking not only for its astounding subject matter, but for the poetic beauty of the late author's subtle, intricate writing. She goes far beyond more gothic horror to explore the melancholy in the loneliest depths of the human condition, forcing readers to confront their own mortality with an unprecedented intimacy. So this sounds really interesting. It could also potentially fit into an offensive book title, you know, that has more beneath the surface. So I don't know. And then the last one here is We Are Here to Hurt Each Other. And this is by Paula D. Ashe. And this one is a book of short stories. This has been on my list forever. Like I said in the last video, I don't reach for short stories as much because I just don't have as much time to sit with each story and analyze it and, you know, see what it means to me. But it says, with these 12 stories, she takes you on a dark and bloody world, or takes you to a dark and bloody world where nothing is sacred and no one is safe. A landscape of urban decay and human degradation. The collection finds the psyche pressure points of all of us and giddily squeezes. Try to run, try to hide. There is no escape. We're here to eat each other. And most of the comments on this one, or the reviews, I suppose, were about how this reminded them of Clive Barker. So I had to get it. I just had to. I absolutely love Clive Barker. So yeah, I will definitely be reading that probably sooner rather than later. Let's get to the P.O. Box stuff really quick and then I'm gonna go eat some pizza. I'm not sure what all of these are. Let me see here. Okay, so this was an author who I spoke with, but this is Dan Schrader's Those Who Live in Darkness, Volume 1. I mean, the cover is just really cool. I'm really into this cover. That is just, yeah, really, it looks neat. It says, read at your own risk. Whether it's just a taste or an entire bite you crave, Those Who Live in Darkness, Volume 1 promises to nourish your wicked appetite. These 6 bone-chilling stories delve into darkness, catering to macabre enthusiasts and those in search of pleasures not of this world. These tales will captivate and thrill while offering a glimpse into the eerie and mysterious. Towers Valley, the darkest of towns surrounded by Robin Hood Hills, is home to some of the most chilling and perplexing horror throughout history. Prepare to unleash chaos in those nightmare realms, a true embodiment of hell on earth. This is a repository of dark secrets where the living endures endless torment and the dead flourish. Warning, this video cassette will melt if left in the car or sun. So yeah, I mean, this and this in the back is cool, but then also just like the picture is really captivating me. So I'm really interested in this. There's also additional pictures in the back there. So yeah, another book of short stories. I am definitely going to try to expand on reading more short stories, just more honestly variety this year, because I feel like last year I read a lot of horror, extreme horror, thriller, that's it. But this year I definitely want to dive more into experimental literature, into classic novels. I just read Wuthering Heights, and so yeah, I'm really excited to just kind of have more range this year. So excited to check out that. Thank you so much for sending that to me. This next one here, oh yes, okay. So this one actually, somebody DM'd me, which this is so nice. I obviously don't put my PO box down below to like get gifts and stuff, but somebody did DM me and say that they sent me this book, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And to the people that message me and say, oh, can I send you this, I always say like, oh no, you know, keep your money for yourself, you don't need to spend something on me. But when somebody writes and said they've already sent me something, it's very kind. It's obviously not necessary, but this I'm very excited for, and I had just actually recently added this to my cart on Amazon, and then they messaged me and said that they sent it to me. And so yeah, they obviously can read my mind because it was already in my cart, but yeah, I'm very thankful. So let me show you what this is about after I restart the camera really quick. This is Chuck Palahniuk's Moments in My Life, in my writing life, after which everything was different. It's called Consider This, and I believe it's like Stephen King's On Writing, or that Kurt Vonnegut book that I got recently for Christmas. That's like his on writing for him, you know what I mean? So I believe this is Palahniuk's, which I am just so excited about. Let's actually open her up, and it's a hardcover. That's just so nice. Thank you so much for sending this. Obviously not necessary, but appreciated. That's so kind. And I totally understand wanting to share your favorite books with people who have, you know, the same love for literature that you do. So, ooh, and look at that white and that green with the pencil. That's a neat book cover. So that's really cool. It just says what it's like to start a fiction, or what's it like to start a fictional movement? What makes for great dialogue? How do you build and maintain narrative tension? What's the most alarming thing Chuck Palahniuk tossed to a fan at a bookstore appearance, and how many people have fainted during a reading of Guts? In this spellbinding blend of memoir and insight, Palahniuk shares stories and generous advice on what makes writing powerful and what makes for powerful writing. Through years of careful study and a keenly observed life, Palahniuk offers practical advice pulled from the classics, his own work, and his kitchen table MFA from an evolving circle of beloved authors and artists, packed with anecdotes, memories from the road, moving tributes, and much more. Consider This is Palahniuk's clear-eyed, sensitive, and illuminating love letter to stories and storytelling, booksellers and books, writers and readers. As a vivid meditation on challenging readers and on writing the razor's edge of contemporary fiction, Consider This is a perfect addition to any writer's toolkit and any reader's collection. So this sounds absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for sending this. Again, so very kind. I'm honestly very thankful. And then the next one, I'm gonna need scissors to open. It's a whole ass package. I was expecting another book from an author, but I don't think that this is it. So I'm not sure what this one is. Oh. I got a note. Oh, this is so kind for somebody to spend time like writing a note, you know, like writing a whole ass note. This is so kind. That is so, I'm gonna cry. That is so nice to take the time to write me a full ass letter. That's so nice. And this person sent me books. I'm not gonna obviously read the note, you know, and I don't know if they want me to say their name, but they did send me My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I think I recently bought this. I do have this one, My Heart is a Chainsaw, but that's not a bad thing, because that means maybe I could force one of my friends to read this with me. But this one I have not read yet. I did purchase it, but I haven't read it yet, and it seemed like this one is quite controversial. People either love it or hate it. I mean, this is so kind to send me any book. I do appreciate it. They said in their note that if I have these books already, that I can, you know, donate them or give them to a friend or whatever. So I will absolutely pass this one on to someone who loves books. I have a few of them, not many, but I do have a few friends that do love to read. And so yeah, this is a really nice, a nice gift. And it says on the back here that You won't find a more hardcore 80s horror fan than the high school senior Jade Daniels, and you won't find a place less supportive of girls who wear torn t-shirts and too much eyeliner than Proof Rock, nestled 8,000 feet in the mountains in Idaho, right alongside Indian Lake, home to both Camp Blood, site of a massacre 50 years ago, and as of this summer, Terra Nova, a secondhand celebrity Camelot being carved out of the National Forest. That's not the only thing that's getting carved up though. This Jade knows is the start of a slasher, but what kind? Who wears the mask? Jade's got an encyclopedic recall of every horror movie on the shelf, but will that help her survive? Can she get a final girl trained enough to stop all this from happening? Does she even want to? Isn't a slasher exactly what her hometown deserves? This novel explores the changing landscape of the West through Steve Graham Jones's distinct voice and a sharp humor and prophetic violence. So honestly, you inspired me to pick this one up soon. So I will be reading this in the future. Thank you so much. That's so nice to send me anything and to write a note and stuff. Okay, yes, that's my address, but I will move it just in case so I don't give anything away. But anyways, and then they also sent me this Ali Condi, The Only Girl in Town here. And this one says, for Julie Fielding, nothing has been the same since the summer before senior year. Once, she had Alex, her loyal best friend, the one who always had her back. She had Sydney, who pushed her during every cross-country run, and who sometimes seemed to know Julie better, July. Did I say Julie? It's July. Better than she knew herself. And then she had Sam. Sam, who told her she was everything and left her breathless with his touch. Now, July is alone. Every single person in her small town of Lithia has disappeared. No family, no Alex or Sydney, no Sam. Julia's only chance at unraveling the mystery of their disappearance is a series of objects, each a reminder of the person that she had loved most. And a mysterious message, get them back. A searingly candid reckoning with both love and loneliness, the #1 best-selling author Ali Condi's The Only Girl in Town perfectly distills the messy, beautiful realities of growing up, growing apart, and the courageous act of self-discovery. This actually sounds really freaking interesting, different than the stuff that I would typically read, you know, just like plain horror books, but this is a YA, and it does seem a little like maybe a coming of age type story, which I do absolutely love those. And so I'm so interested to check that one out. I've never even heard of that writer. So that is so unbelievably kind. Thank you so much for writing me a letter, for sending me books. I mean, that's just, it's so nice. Obviously not necessary. You don't have to spend your money on me at all, but I do definitely appreciate, yeah, anybody who takes the time to write me a letter. That's just so nice. So anyways, thank you so much. Those are the books that I recently got. Thank you again so much for any author or human that has sent me anything. Thank you for you guys just for watching my videos, commenting, you know, talking to me about books. So thank you so much. I'm gonna go eat some pizza and I will see you soon with another horror video. Bye guys.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.